Hey guys, how's it going? Kulprit here, and welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about game modes. It's one of the things that I feel like is the bread and butter of shooter games. That with game modes, the actual maps themselves have to be good. And of course, I think the number one thing is gunplay. How well does the actual engagements work? The shooting. For me, I love Battlefield 3's gunplay, so I'm going to make the assumption that the gunplay, because the same engine and same series, is going to be very similar looking towards Battlefield 4. The map design remains to be seen. We're not sure. I can't really talk about that until we get some information. But what I can do is I can project out some game modes and talk about game modes I would like to see included in Battlefield 4. Now, we've seen some game modes added now through DLCs in Battlefield 3. We've seen, Gun Game or Gun Master, Scavenger, Tank Superiority, Air Superiority, and now Capture the Flag. It's well chronicled in my videos. Some of my disappointment with their choices on game modes. I just do not think they were good choices. I don't think they really fit. Now, Tank Superiority, Air Superiority, I think those kind of scratch niches that needed to be addressed, and I'm okay with that. They're not for me. They're certainly not modes. I don't think I certainly haven't played Air Superiority, but I don't think I've played a minute of Tank Superiority. I just won't. That's me. But I don't begrudge those people that enjoy those. And like I said, I see a need addressed by those game modes. So I'm going to put those to the side. So basically I'm going to talk about Gun Master real quick, and then I'm going to get into what I really want to talk about. Gun Master, Scavenger, and Capture the Flag. Now, I don't have anything against these game modes, but they seem more to me like distraction game modes. They seem, ancillary. They don't seem like they're adding anything to the core game, and I'd really like to see that. It's almost as if DICE is afraid to add a real team-based game mode that they fear might take over Conquest. Because remember, Battlefield was known for Conquest. And then they introduced Rush, and quickly Rush, especially in Bad Company 2, took over. Rush was much more popular in Conquest. And they took a little bit of flack for that. And it was probably a lot of, both by the community and everything. So I think they seem tentative to introduce a game mode that they feel could take over one of their big two. Because they seem to be picking these middle road game modes. And Capture the Flag is a classic game mode. I don't have anything against Capture the Flag, but I just don't have very good experiences, especially on public servers for Capture the Flag. If you're playing squad v squad or platoon versus platoon kind of thing, organized, it could be very good competitive play. But as far as pub servers, Capture the Flag just never seems to work. And I think you have to, really kind of focus on that before you introduce it into the game. It just doesn't work. And, Scavenger and Gun Master, they're good little just sidetrack, mess around game modes, but they don't really add anything to the core experience of the game. The game modes I would like to see, I feel like, would incredibly enhance the core game modes of the game. And I feel like Battlefield 3 and then looking towards Battlefield 4, I think they scream for these game modes. I think they would be incredibly fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a short series now, kicking off here, where I talk about some of the game modes that I would like to see included in Battlefield 4. I think Battlefield's always lacked in game modes compared to other games, and I understand that. They don't want to be so scatterbrained and focusing everywhere. They want to have just core modes that everybody can play, and that's good. Remember, they only just introduced TDM, and I'm really happy that they did. TDM is one of my favorite game modes, and I use it a lot to work on my game, and I think it provides an arena and an environment for people to work on their game specifically and get better as a player base. Without TDM, you're going to have guys working on things in team-based games. It just doesn't work. TDM was a good ad, and it better stay, frankly. But today I wanted to talk about Headquarters. Headquarters is one of my favorite game modes in all games. I was first introduced to it in Black Ops, the original Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops that I played, and it was probably my most played game mode. I loved it. It just, to me, the most interesting thing about Headquarters is that dynamic where you're going from aggressively attacking to, in an instant, okay guys, defend. Like, you have to communicate, you have to almost have predetermined roles, positions, these types of things. And played with a very coordinated squad of people, it can be incredibly fun. You're attacking. Once you secure that headquarters, you have to, as quickly as you can, your decision is how far do I go to find a defensive position before the enemy's going to get me. Do I try to go find that perfect position and I get caught and I get killed? Because as you know, if you die while you're defending, you can't spawn in until the headquarters is destroyed. So that life instantly becomes very, very precious, and the longer you can hold it, the more points you get. I just think there's so many tactical and strategic levels to Headquarters, and it's very fast-paced. I just think an environment and in a maps and like Battlefield 3 and, of course, looking towards Battlefield 4, it would be incredibly fun. You could put some really crazy spots, just like use the same MCOM system that we have for Rush, and just, change it up a little bit. I don't think it would call for any huge revamp, but I think the Battlefield 3 maps would be a lot of fun. I think it would be incredible. I think it would just, the chaotic nature, the gunplay, obviously, you know, vehicles and stuff wouldn't work. And I think that's kind of why we haven't seen some of these as well, is that some of the game modes I'm going to talk about do not cater themselves to vehicles. I think something I'm envisioning, say, SEN Crossing, kind of with one vehicle, maybe a side, but like where they put the headquarter objective, I guess I'll say, in a place where a vehicle can't get on it. I'm thinking, you know, one of the alleyways or something like that. You could put an obstruction so the tank can get close. It can offer a supporting role, but it can't get. Or I would prefer just to get rid of tanks. Maybe throw something, you know, maybe a LAV or just one of these new armored Humvees or something like that. Maybe. I mean, you know me. I would just do away with vehicles altogether on modes like this. But I think they're hesitant to do that because Battlefield and Battlefield 4 now are going to be so hyped up on vehicles being such a separation feature from other games, so they don't want to just get rid of the vehicles, which I understand and I'm okay with. But I think they would have to be in a support role where they could go down streets, they can offer support, but they can't actually get on the point and just babysit it. So I think if done that way, it could be a lot of fun. Obviously, you wouldn't really have room for any air vehicles, but we have that in game modes now in Battlefield 3, so I don't see that being a problem. But, I mean, I'm just thinking headquarters and the Aftermath maps would be incredible. I think it would be so much fun. It would be chaotic. People would just be running all over the maps. I mean, think about headquarters in the close quarters. I mean, a DLC I'm not fond of that I thought had a lot of problems. The biggest problem to me was the randomness of close quarters, the maps, the spawns. There was just people, you could never get any predictability of where the enemy might come from, and next to you getting shot in the back. You had to literally run spinning in 360 circles. That's because, you know, the Conquest Domination was so close, it was Ring Around the Rosie, everybody was always just running around randomly capturing points. Throw this in there where there's one objective point, and everybody's going for it. You're going to get that strategic predictability. You're going to know about approximately where the enemy is going to come from. If you don't know where they're coming from, you know where they're going, and you can then act accordingly. And I think in a close little environment like that, it would be insanity. I mean, with the destructible environment and just... I think it could offer a lot of exciting gameplay. So let me know what you guys think. Headquarters is a classic favorite of mine. I love it. Do you guys love it? What kind of game modes would you like to see in Battlefield 4? Because I really hope they expand the portfolio in Battlefield 4. I think that would really go a long way to increasing the longevity of the game and just the fun and enjoyment factor for everyone. So once again, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know what you'd like to see. And what do you think about Headquarters in Battlefield 4? I'd love to hear it. Take care, guys. I'll talk to you soon.